Welcome back to the Voice of Resistance, friend. For point of clarity, when I speak about national background check, to use Biden's word, I mean universal background check if you buy a firearm. So what that means is your brother sells you a firearm, you sell one to your dad, and somehow they're going to require, with Obama's executive order, that either you do a background check or you trot down to the nearest gun store and get in line with all the other happy little slaves and have the gun store owner do a background check. Friends, we have to understand that this is evil. This is the stuff slaves are made of. We need to tell them collectively, go to hell. We are not going to do this. I'm going to read to you some of these petitions from different citizens that have been given to the White House to secede from the Union. But I'm going to say something scary. All right? I'm not trying to make it scary. Some people are going to go, I can't believe you said that. You just have to hear me. A lot of people have thought over the years, would I be willing to die for something? Would I be willing to die for freedom? Well, remember the movie Patton with George C. Scott, where he said, we're not asking you to die for your country. We're asking you to make the other poor dumb blank die for his country. I said years ago in a pro-life meeting, the question is not merely, are we willing to die for freedom? The question is, are we willing to kill for freedom? And as I said, that's going to be troubling to some people, but you have to understand the reason we have in America is because the farmers, the guys who owned the squirrel hunting rifles, they killed British soldiers. Real men fired real bullets into their fellow human beings. British bodies were buried. Widows were left behind in England. Orphans were left behind because there were men who were not only willing to die for freedom, but they were prepared to take the life of another human being for freedom. I just want to say to our friends in the federal government, some of you need to be looking at early retirement because you know, as well as I do, that there are people who are not going to go along with this. By the way, when I say the BATF, that stands for Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the ATF is who oversees the licensing of gun dealers. And I can promise you this. There are ATF agents right now who are sitting around the table with their wives saying, I think I'm going to resign. I've been in some of these meetings. I've been in some of these gun shows. And if they are forced, if these people are pushed too far, they will kill us. They're not stupid people. These are good men. These are men who swore an oath to uphold the Constitution. And many of them are discussing resigning right now because they see what's coming as unconstitutional. We're nowhere near the end of this. I've got to take a break. I ran out of time. I'll tell you about these secession petitions when we come back. Don't go away.